guys. Hello. Hi. So I'm gonna try to keep this as quick as possible. My name is Jocelyn. I'm a natural hair stylist, licensed cosmetologist, and natural hair blogger. So I kind of see things from a consumer perspective and a professional perspective. Hi Diane, how are you? So I wanted to jump on here and talk a little bit about why the natural hair community has such a hard time trusting stylists. And you see a lot of articles recently about why people don't want to go to salons anymore. And I see it and I understand it, and I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about it, and I want this to be as interactive as possible. So if you agree, you disagree, please comment. You know how Periscope works, just comment whether or not you agree. So I have five reasons why the natural hair community doesn't really trust stylists. And my personal background, I went to the Aveda Institute of DC for my cosmetology license. So my experience, hi from Germany, hello. So my cosmetology experience is from a not non-black perspective, but I worked in a black or natural hair salon at the same time concurrently. So just to give you guys a little bit of a framework where this is coming from. So the natural hair salons that people go to, number one reason why people have such a hard time trusting stylists is that this is not all stylists, I'll say that, but traditionally, they don't offer thorough consultations. When I was a loose natural personally, and I went to a salon, I would sit in the chair and they would say, okay, go straight to the shampoo bowl. We're gonna wash my hair, and then I come back and they're just gonna like, oh, how do you want it? So it's like I'm going to the bowl without you even knowing what you're doing to my hair, what to expect, what am I gonna experience here? So what I was trained in cosmetology school to do was they don't want to pay for a thorough consultation. If people don't want to pay for a consultation, that's one thing. You really don't want to get your hair done. Because if you're going to a salon for a service, it costs money, just like you go to your job and expect them to pay you. A salon it's someone's career, it's someone's job. So that's a whole nother scope. But a thorough consultation is essential to building trust first and foremost. Training too, yeah. But a thorough consultation is essential. So I know what to expect from you. You know what is expected of you from me as your client. And people or stylists lately don't do that. They just are so used to just, okay, go on. When you come back to my bowl, tell me what you want, and then we'll do it magically. Pictures are also essential because people say, well, I'm jumping ahead. So number one, consultations are not done properly. Number two, stylists that are not, I guess, into the natural hair community or on YouTube, or they like to despise YouTube and blogs, they're not hip or current to the current language that's going on in the natural hair community for a lot of styles. For example, people say, I want Ghana braids. Some styles are like, what's that? I don't do that. You want cornrows. You want 4 straight back cornrows. Or they say, oh, I want a top knot. Some stylists are like, what? What are you talking about? That doesn't exist. You want a high bun on the top of your head. Or you say, I want mambo twists. And they're like, I don't do that. It's like Marley twists or Senegalese twists. Like, the language that people in the natural hair community create are what consumers are going to use. So while you may despise YouTube or blogs, you kind of need to be there to understand what your consumers are wanting. So that's another reason people have that disconnect between stylist and consumer. Number three is that you're not providing an experience. So many people are saying, I'm not gonna pay $85 for a 2-strand twist. I can 2-strand twist my hair at home. Are you so a stylist, right? You go to a salon, you should give them some type of stress relieving experience, whether it's your conversation, your music, the atmosphere, candles, a massage, a lotion, an oil, aromatherapy. People want to be treated or want to experience something that they couldn't otherwise do at home. So many salons are either unkept, or they're just so used to their word of mouth clientele, the same people over and over coming back to them, that they're just used to it. So you need to give them something to look forward to in the salon versus just expecting them to just pay you $85 or whatever your prices are. Because if the experience that you provide for your client helps them to alleviate their day-to-day stress, or they come to you and they are relief, it's a weight off their shoulder, they're just calm and relaxed, you shouldn't have a problem with them paying your prices. You really just shouldn't. And if you do, that's not the stylist, or that's not the consumer client for you. Number four is that you don't explain your products. So many blogs are out here now, YouTube channels, that I would pay for wellness. Exactly. So many blogs out here, or people saying that X chemical is wrong or this product is bad, just because they superficially don't understand it. So naturally, a lot of blogs, if you don't understand it, it makes it bad. Whereas a professional understands how the chemicals work and the synergy, pH balancing of chemicals, and how they work on a molecular level in your hair to achieve the results that you want. If that's the case, explain that to them. If you don't explain that to somebody, then you're just using some crap on their hair, and they're gonna ding you for that. So while you're shampooing their hair, explain to them why this shampoo has a surfactants in it that's going to get the excess buildup off their hair and scalp because they haven't shampooed their hair for 4 weeks, and so you need to use this product. And you're going to follow it up with a moisturizing product that's going to replenish the moisture, and it's going to hydrate the hair on a molecular level. If I heard that, I would be like, okay, go ahead and use that product on me, girl. It's fine. Okay, explain why folks are putting coconut oil in Monostat 7. Yes, I saw this. Yeah, exactly. Because people read or believe whatever they want to hear. So if that's the case, if you are such a great stylist, which I know a lot of natural hair stylists and salons are, like, their talent is unmatched. You have to come down off the horse you've been on for so many years to layman's terms, to your client, to your consumer, and explain to them how you're benefiting them. People need to understand the value in everything they get these days because they're so used to things being catered to them. That's just the way we are now. At least in America. That's just the way we are in America. So you have to tell them or explain the value. With that comes trust, so you can trust your stylist. Exactly. It's a valued service. So you don't explain products, you're not providing an experience, you don't or you're not up on the current language, you don't offer consultations. And number 5, the fifth reason why clients don't trust their stylist is you're not retailing. How many people come to your salon and say, I need a shampoo, or I need this conditioner, or what should I use, or how do I find something that benefits my hair? Let me see. If you don't have this retail cabinet over here, right? If you don't have that in your salon, you need to get one, and you need to fill it with things and brands that you trust, so that you're not saying, oh girl, go to Target or go to this Chinese beauty supply store and buy XXX, and who knows if they're going to buy that, or they see something else that looks prettier or says shea butter on it and they pick that up. You need to have it there. Yes, make the products available, because that's going to connect the trust that they experience in your chair to your pocket and to their hair. It's going to make sure that you are treating their hair even when they're not in your chair. And so that's going to get them to come back. yes, in retailing, it makes the stylist money, because we always talk about, or you see people complaining about not keeping money in our community. Black-owned salons need to keep products in-house to share with their clientele. And if you don't have the money, if you're a stylist and you don't have the money to stock up your retail cabinet at this very, very moment, at the very least, get you a piece of paper, some paper, write down your recommendations based on hair. It could be 3 different shampoos, right? And then you put a checkbox by it. Get this list together, put a check box next to the shampoos, like for dry hair. Here's your shampoos, here are your conditioners, here are your styling gels, here are your oils that you need to have. And then before that client leaves your place of business, you put a check mark next to the shampoo, the conditioner, the oils that they need to be using at home. And so they know they can connect what you're saying to them to what they see on the paper and in the store, and that you can more so guarantee that they'll pick that up. You can't guarantee it because you don't have it, but you have a better chance of them getting what you recommend, just so they have proper hair care. That builds so much trust because you are providing them value. So when stylists, a lot of stylists are just so used to the way things have been, that the way the internet has changed the times, they haven't caught up. So therefore they're just missing it, and they're not getting that trust. If you are successful but are not making money, you need to get training in salon business. That's true. Retailing is big. Well, so much product out there. I use different lines for different reasons. Exactly. I mean, I totally agree. It has a lot to do with training. And make sure you guys follow Diane C. Bailey. She's amazing. Amazing master pioneer stylist. So that's why she's commenting, and she knows her stuff. But yes, training is so essential. And that was one of the reasons why I actually went to a non-black cosmetology school, to get that experience, because my experience at cosmetology school was to provide consultations. It was to retail products and explain to my clients what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and to give them an experience, not just to do their hair. Because that's how a lot of people feel, is that I can do my own hair, but in reality a professional is going to explain to you what you need, why you need it, and how it can benefit you. And that's information that everyone needs to hear at least a couple times a year. So you need to see a professional stylist. Thank you for sharing. You need to see a professional stylist, just if nothing else, for a consultation, to be sure your hair, your regimen is on the right track. And you want to find somebody that trusts, that meets that criteria, that understands the language, that gives you an experience, that that retails, that will talk to you and make you feel like you are getting a valuable service. You should always have products that you use and or retail, always. And if you don't have it, you need to have something to let them know that, or where to get it. And consultations are very, very major. Yes, consultations. Make sure you get a consultation. Make sure it's thorough and including pictures. Pictures are important, because if I say I want my hair brown and I really want it blonde, but maybe blonde looks brown to me, you know, everyone sees things differently, so that's why pictures are important. But yeah, I hope this was kind of insightful, at least from my perspective, why I feel as though the natural hair community has a hard time trusting stylists. And research the salon too. Yes, research the salon. I will say that salons oftentimes put their best face forward, or some gyms may not have the resources to create a good website. I went to a diverse school, good salon training, and you get the latest trends. Yeah, a lot of salons, they may do amazing work, but don't have or don't understand the value in building an effective website. So it's hard to research when you're just going by the internet. I would say visit start popping into salons, and if nothing else, just to say hi. I just wanted to check you out, maybe meet some stylists in the area. We really need to get back to community, get back to in-person interactions, physically going places. The internet is not the end-all be-all of everything. I got hood training. It's okay. That's another thing. Natural hair training is not done necessarily in cosmetology school. It's all advanced training outside of school. So you have to go beyond. You have to go beyond just your first initial education to gain that experience, and or find a mentor in the community. Speaking to my stylist out here, the periscope was for the consumer, kind of for the stylist, but speaking to my stylist, there are so many communities out here and other stylists that we need to reach out to and support and piggyback on, because we are all in the same field, the same market. We need to uplift each other. If we don't, our community is going to fall. Just like there is a client or a stylist for everybody, there's a friend or a mentor out there for everybody. So I don't know, I'm trying to be big on this sense of community, because I feel like it's really important. I missed those comments because I was kind of talking. Felicia Leatherwood is awesome with sharing knowledge. She is so great, and for her to be a celebrity stylist and actually she hops on Periscope and gives tips and everything, I think that's just so amazing. That's why I'm liking Periscope, because it gives you more of a personal. Yeah, but yeah, guys, I really appreciate you jumping on and sharing in the knowledge. Yes, okay, yes, thank you, Diane, for mentioning that. There is a natural hair industry convention that's happening on November 1st. It's in Baltimore, Maryland, I believe. You can visit the website and find out about how you can connect the master pioneers or the stylists in the natural hair industry to the bloggers, the consumers, really just bringing everybody back together in the natural hair community. So there are going to be hands-on classes, techniques, seminars. I went last year and I was blown away. So and that was the first one. This year is the second one, so I can't even imagine what's going on this year. Yes, nhiconvention.com is the website. Check it out. It is going to be amazing, and I'll be there. So yeah, thanks for chatting with me, guys. I have to go make dinner and everything. But yeah, I hope this was insightful. And if you're watching the replay, at me on Twitter at curlynugrowth if you have any other questions or insight, because we can do like a part 2 to this to continue the conversation about why the natural hair community does not trust stylists, or how we can make it so that the trust comes back into the community. Thanks for watching, guys. What's for dinner? Salmon, wild rice, and some vegetables. Kind of healthy. All right, bye.